Carl Jung once said, "What if your biggest problem is not the woman you think about every night? What if the problem is that you are seeing something in her that actually does not exist in her? And what if you did not fall in love with her? What if you fell in love with a lost part of yourself?" This is where Jung's most uncomfortable idea begins, because you do not see women as they actually are. You see them as your unconscious wants them to be. You look at her and think, "This is it. She is the one. She understands me. She will complete me. Everything will be different with her." But you do not even know her. Maybe you have talked to her for 5 minutes. Maybe you exchanged a few messages. Maybe she looked at you once in a way you had needed to be looked at for years. And suddenly, you feel as if you have come home. You call it destiny. You call it the meeting of souls. You call it chemistry. But Jung might have used another word, projection. And this is where the story becomes dark. Because the woman you consider the most special woman in your life may not actually be the woman you are seeing. You are seeing an image from within yourself projected onto her, an image so powerful that you feel she can save you, complete you, and give your life meaning. But that woman did not come to save you. She is only reflecting something you have lost within yourself, and if you do not understand this difference, your love can slowly become obsession. Obsession can become dependence, and dependence slavery. According to Jung, every man has a hidden feminine side within him. He called it the Anima. It was not simply a fantasy of womanhood. It was a deep symbol of the emotions, intuition, sensitivity, imagination, and soul that exist within a man. But the problem begins when a man does not recognize this power within himself. Because what you do not recognize within yourself, you begin to search for outside yourself. And then a woman suddenly becomes more than just a woman. She becomes liberation for you. She becomes meaning. She becomes your inspiration. She becomes your goddess. And this is the moment when you have already lost her before you even lose her. Because now you are not loving her. You are loving the image you have placed upon her. Your anima has put on a face in front of you, and now you believe that face itself is the answer to your soul. Think about it. Has it ever happened that a woman entered your life, and within just a few days you felt that you could not live without her? Has it ever happened that she gave you a little attention, then suddenly became distant, and your mind kept thinking about her all day? What did she say? Why did she say it? Why did she not reply? Is she talking to someone else? Has she lost interest? Did I do something wrong? And the more she moves away, the more you want to get closer to her. Why? Is she really that special? Or is there something inside you that is reading her distance as a challenge? According to Jung, the unconscious mind often returns to whatever remains incomplete within it. And this is why some women affect you far more than normal. You feel there is some magic in them, but perhaps that magic does not belong to them, it belongs to you. You simply have not recognized it within yourself. Her confidence seems extraordinary to you because you have suppressed your own confidence. Her mystery pulls you in because there is a lack of direction within you. Her emotional depth attracts you because you have distanced yourself from your own emotions. Her beauty seems divine to you because a desire for wholeness is buried within you. And then something strange happens. You are not chasing that woman. You are chasing your own lost part. Her face is simply attached to it. The hunger is yours. This is why it would be wrong to see the anima as merely a bad force. She is not your enemy. She is pointing toward a part of yourself that you have ignored. But if you do not recognize her, she can control you. She can take over your decisions. She can make you bow before a woman before whom you would never normally bow. She can keep you in a relationship you know you should leave. And the most dangerous part, you can call it love. You will say, "I cannot live without her." But perhaps the real sentence is, "I cannot live without the part of myself I discovered inside her." The difference seems small, but this difference can save a man, because when you make a woman the answer to your soul, every small reaction from her begins to determine your mental state. She is happy, you are happy. She is distant, you break down. She wants you, you feel your worth. She ignores you, you feel worthless. Now the key to your emotions is in her hands, and she may not even know what she is holding. This is mental slavery. And from Jung's perspective, the greatest irony is that the woman does not even need to control you. You surrender yourself to her. You break your boundaries, you hide your truth, you change your principles for her approval. You constantly try to prove yourself to keep her interested, and every time you give away a little more of yourself, you think you are saving the love. But in reality, you are losing yourself. Jung would not see this merely as a problem with women. It is the problem of a man who has not yet known himself. A man who has not recognized his own power will search outside himself for someone who can make him feel powerful. And this is why some men are attracted to women who constantly keep them insecure. One moment warmth, the next moment distance. One moment love, the next moment coldness. One moment she makes you feel special. The next moment she behaves as if you do not even exist. And you? You try harder. Why? Because your unconscious may already know this game. Maybe this is not the first time you have had to prove yourself to receive love. Maybe a story was written within you long ago. If I become good enough, if I become useful enough, if I love her enough, if I do not let her go, then eventually I will be chosen. And now every new woman becomes a new face in that old story. You think you have met a new woman, but your unconscious says, no, I know this story. And then the same cycle begins. Attraction, obsession, hope, uncertainty, distance, chasing, heartbreak, and then one day, another woman, another face. But the same story. Jung might see this as a recurring psychological complex. Certain patterns return in your life because you have not yet learned something from them. So sometimes your bad luck is not bad luck. It is your unconscious knocking on the door. It is asking, when will you finally wake up? Because you keep choosing the same kind of women. Cold, chaotic, emotionally distant, extremely close at times, completely gone at others. And every time you say, this time is different. But is it really different? Or has only the face changed? Jung's idea becomes deeply uncomfortable here. The thing you are most attracted to is not necessarily the thing that is best for you. Sometimes attraction is not healing. Sometimes attraction is the recognition of a wound. You see something in someone that is connected to your past, and your unconscious says, this is familiar. Pay attention. For the unconscious, familiar and healthy are not the same thing. If your mind has learned to associate chaos with love, peace may seem boring to you. If you have always had to struggle to receive someone's attention, a person who consistently gives you respect and stability may seem less attractive. Why? Because your old game is not present there. Your wound is not being activated, and so your unconscious may interpret it as a lack of chemistry. You say, there was just something missing in her. Maybe the thing missing was not in her. Maybe your old pain was missing. This is why some people run away from peace and rush toward chaos. They say, there is so much chemistry between us. But sometimes that chemistry is not between two healthy souls. It is the collision of two incomplete wounds. One wants to save her. The other wants to be saved while also wanting control. One needs approval. The other needs control. One chases, the other pulls away, then one returns. The other comes closer again, and both call it love. But what is really happening inside? Archetypes are colliding with one another. Both are trying to get from each other what they have not developed within themselves. And so the relationship slowly becomes a war. She says, you do not understand me. He says, you do not value me. She says, you have changed. He says, you are not the same anymore. But perhaps they are not really talking to each other at all. They are both talking to their own pasts. This is the power of projection. You do not see the person in the present. You see the past on their face, and then you treat them like someone they are not. Perhaps Jung's most important idea was this: the thing you do not recognize within yourself begins to control your life from the outside. And this is seen most clearly in love. You miss her. You keep thinking about her. You look at her social media. You look at her picture. You read old messages. You think, I will never find anyone like her again. But stop and ask yourself, do I really miss her? Or do I miss the feeling that was created inside me when I was with her? This question can change the entire story, because perhaps you are not losing her. Perhaps you are losing the part of yourself that you first experienced with her. Maybe with her, you felt more alive, more attractive, more powerful, more emotional, more complete. And now that she is gone, you think all of that has disappeared too. But none of that was actually inside her. She only awakened it within you. And this is why Jung's solution was not to run away from women. The solution was to withdraw the projection, to bring back into yourself the thing you had placed onto another person. If you are fascinated by her beauty, create beauty in your own life. If you are impressed by her confidence, develop that confidence within yourself. If her emotional depth attracts you, learn to go deeper into your own emotions. If her independence excites you, become independent in your own life. Because the moment you begin developing that quality within yourself, the woman's power over you begins to decrease. She is no longer a goddess. She becomes a human being. And that is reality, a human being. Not your liberation, not your mother, not your soul, not your identity, just a human being. And for the first time, you can actually see her, not through your imagination, not through your wound, not through your desire, but as she is. This is where the possibility of real love begins, because love cannot be real until you are willing to see the other person in their reality. If you love her only because she fulfills your imagination, then you are not loving her. You are loving your imagination. And the day her reality breaks your imagination, you say, she has changed. But perhaps she did not change, your imagination broke, and now you are seeing the real person for the first time. This is why some breakups feel so devastating. You do not just lose a relationship, you lose an entire mental world. The future you created with her, the person you thought she would become, the life you imagined with her, the man you wanted to become with her. Everything breaks at once, and you feel as if your life is over. But perhaps what has ended is not your life, it is an illusion, and the breaking of an illusion is always painful. This is why walking Jung's path is not easy, because you have to look within yourself. And blaming someone outside you is always easier. You can say, women are all like this. You cannot trust anyone these days. She was manipulative. She used me. Maybe that happened in some cases. But Jung's question would be different. Why were you there? What did you fail to see? Which boundary did you fail to set? What need within yourself were you trying to fill through her approval? This is the painful question, because it means you also had a role in the story. It does not mean the other person's mistakes are unimportant. It means your soul has to take responsibility for its part. Because until you do that, you will keep repeating the same story. New woman, new relationship, new hope, but the same ending. And perhaps this is why some men keep saying for years, I always choose the wrong women. Maybe the problem is not that they choose the wrong women. Maybe the problem is that their unconscious chooses women with whom their old wound feels familiar. And until the wound becomes visible, the choice does not change. You can change the woman, change the city, change the app, change the relationships. But if you do not change yourself, the story is not going to change. Jung would not see this merely as a problem of romance. It is a question of personality development. When does a man begin taking responsibility for his own life? When does he stop placing his emotions in someone else's hands? When does he stop saying, if she chooses me, then I am enough? And for the first time say, I am enough. Therefore, I can choose. This is the difference between dependence and freedom. The unconscious man asks, does she want me? The integrated man asks, do I want her? The unconscious man asks, how can I keep her close? The integrated man asks, is this relationship bringing clarity into my life or confusion? The unconscious man chases her. The integrated man observes. The unconscious man reacts. The integrated man chooses. And this is the point where a man's life begins to change, because now his worth is no longer determined by a woman's reaction. He does not rise above himself because of her message. He does not fall beneath himself because of her silence. He does not forget his boundaries because of her beauty. He does not lose his existence because she leaves. He can love without losing himself. And this is real power. Not the power to control a woman, the power to control oneself. Jung's integration points toward this, bringing back into yourself those parts that you had left with others, your sensitivity, your emotions, your imagination, your depth, your desire, your insecurity, your darkness, your power. Because the more a man accepts these parts within himself, the less he needs to search for wholeness through a woman. And here another mystery appears. The woman you are searching for may not actually be what you are searching for outside yourself. You are searching within yourself for the man you have not yet become, the man you were meant to become, but whom you have postponed, whom you suppressed for approval, whom you held back because of fear, whom you made smaller for society, family, and relationships. And now you think a woman will come and fill that empty space, but no woman can fill that space, because that space was made for you. This is why, according to Jung, the greatest danger of love is not love itself. It is the projection hidden inside love. Because when you make a person the answer to your soul, you begin expecting impossible things from them. To make you happy, to understand you, to save you, to inspire you, to complete you, to heal your wounds, to give your life meaning. But she is a human being. She has her own wounds, her own unconscious, her own unfinished story. And the moment she refuses to play the role you created for her, you feel betrayed. But perhaps she did not betray you. Perhaps she simply stopped playing your imagination. And this is where the illusion breaks. Now you are standing in front of her for the first time. Two human beings, two incomplete people, two different histories, two different desires. Now there is no goddess, no savior, no victim, no master. Just two human beings. This is equality. This can be the beginning of a real relationship. But first you have to step out of the mental slavery in which you have given another person the key to your soul. An anima-driven man is often emotionally reactive. He gets carried away quickly. He attaches quickly. He imagines quickly. And he breaks quickly. He finds a story in every woman, a signal in every smile, a future in every touch, rejection in every distance, meaning in every message. His mind fills empty spaces with imagination. And then the imagination becomes so real that reality begins to feel disappointing to him. The woman says, "I am busy right now." He thinks, "She is pulling away from me." She replies late. He thinks, "Maybe she is talking to someone else." She is very affectionate one day. He thinks, "This is the woman of my life." The next day she is quiet. He thinks, "It is all over." This is not love. This is a lack of emotional control. And when you are not the master of your emotions, anyone can create a storm inside you. But when you learn to become stable within yourself, that same woman appears before you in a different way. Now she is no longer the owner of your peace. You may need her, but you do not have to lose yourself because you need her. You can choose her, but you can still be yourself without her. And this is the state in which love can finally become free. Because when you do not need a person to complete you, you can finally love them for real. Jung's path is therefore not a path of rejecting women. It is not a path of worshipping women either. It is a path of seeing yourself. Look at the woman you are chasing, then ask yourself, what does she have that I do not have within myself? What am I imagining about her? Do I actually know her? Or am I writing my needs onto her face? Do I love her? Or do I feel myself through her? These questions can shake your entire romantic world, because you may discover for the first time that your greatest obsession was not about a woman, it was about you, about the part of yourself you never allowed yourself to live, your suppressed power, your suppressed emotions, your suppressed desires, your suppressed identity. And this is why that woman seemed so important to you. She made you feel what you could not make yourself feel. But now the question is, can you create that feeling within yourself? If yes, then you are beginning to become free. Because now you no longer need to borrow a part of your soul from another person. You can develop it within yourself. This is individuation, the process of becoming whole, accepting the contradictions within yourself, looking at your darkness, recognizing your weakness, accepting your power, stopping your escape from your emotions, and slowly returning to the center of your own life. A man who is centered within himself does not need everyone's approval. He does not change his identity to impress a woman. He allows her to enter his life, but he does not hand her the key to his life. He can love, but he does not beg. He can be sensitive, but he does not fall apart. He can connect deeply, but he does not surrender ownership of his soul. And this is the man Jung might call an integrated man. His masculinity is not hardness. His masculinity is awareness. He does not suppress his emotions, but he is not controlled by them either. He does not run from his desires, nor does he become their slave. He does not hate the woman. He does not make her a goddess either. He sees her, actually sees her. And perhaps this is the hardest thing, to see a person without placing your imagination over them, because when you do that, that woman does not suddenly become smaller to you, she becomes real. And it is only in reality that love is possible, not in imagination. Jung did not say to avoid women. He did not say to run away from love. His message was far more uncomfortable. Do not run away from yourself. Because if you keep running away from yourself, you will meet your own unconscious in every relationship. Every woman will become a new mirror, every relationship a new test, every breakup a new wound, and every time you will blame someone outside yourself. Until one day you stop and ask, if the problem is not always outside, then what is being repeated within me? This is the question that changes the story, because the moment you ask it, you begin stepping out of the role of the victim. Now you are not asking, why did she do this to me? You are asking, why did I stay there? What did I accept? What did I ignore? What did I need? What was I running from? What was I searching for inside her? And then, slowly, that woman becomes your teacher. She is no longer your enemy, nor your savior. She becomes a mirror. And the job of a mirror is not to change you. The job of a mirror is only to show you. What you see is up to you. If you see chaos in her, look within yourself. If you see power in her, look within yourself. If you see mystery in her, look within yourself. If you see something in her that you cannot let go of, the greatest signal may be hidden right there. Because sometimes the person we want the most is not the person we need the most. They are the person who leads us to the part of ourselves we have been running from for years. And perhaps this is why some relationships do not leave us even after they end. Because the relationship is over. But the door it opened is still open, and behind that door that you are standing, the same you whom you suppressed, the same you whom you made smaller for the approval of others, the same you whom you mortgaged in exchange for a woman's love. And now you have to take him back. This is shadow work, looking at the things within yourself that you do not want to see, your jealousy, your fear, your dependence, your longing, your weakness, your aggression, your loneliness, your hunger for approval, your insecurity. Do not hide them. Do not place them onto a woman. Understand them, because the part you do not accept controls you, and the part you accept can become your strength. Therefore, becoming an integrated man does not mean becoming emotionless. It does not mean that you should not need a woman. It does not mean that you should become hard, cold, or cruel. It simply means this: responsibility for your soul is yours. Your worth is yours. Your direction is yours. Your emotions are yours. And no other person is responsible for making you whole. When you understand this, the entire game of dating changes. Now you do not see potential in every woman. You see a person. Now you do not consider every attraction destiny. You observe it. Now you do not chase every distance. You see what became activated within you. Now you do not consider every pain proof of love. You ask, is this really love? Or, has my old wound been awakened again? This question can protect you from relationships you once considered destiny. And perhaps this is the greatest change. You no longer ask, how can I get her? You ask, how can I find myself? Because the day you find yourself, the fear of losing a woman can no longer control you. You can stay with her, love her, build a life with her. But you do not erase yourself for her. And if she leaves, and it will hurt, of course it will. But your soul will not leave with her, because it was never hers, it was yours. And this is where a man learns to love for the first time, not by losing himself, by finding himself. The warning Jung repeated again and again points to this. What is unconscious will run your life. And you will call it fate. You will say, I always meet the wrong people. My luck is just bad. I will never find the right woman. But perhaps luck is not your problem. Perhaps your unconscious keeps taking you to the same door again and again. And until you see what is hidden behind that door, you will keep returning there. One woman will leave, another will come, a third will come. But the pattern will remain the same. Because changing the face does not change the unconscious. You will keep receiving the same thing until you recognize the thing you keep choosing. And perhaps this is why your next love story will not be your most important love story. Perhaps the most important story will be the one in which you choose yourself for the first time. Not against a woman, not above a woman. Just with the ability to remain yourself even without a woman. This is psychological sovereignty. You do not need to control anyone. You do not need to be above anyone. You do not need to put anyone down. You simply need to make sure you do not give the key to your soul to someone else. Because the day you give the key to your soul to another person, their smile can become your addiction, their silence your punishment, their approval your identity, and their absence your death. But the day you take that key back, that same woman can no longer control you. Now you can want her, but not because you need her. You can stay with her, but not because of fear. You can love her, but not by losing yourself. And perhaps this is the point where love finally becomes love, because now you are not saying to her, complete me. You are saying, I am on a journey toward becoming whole within myself. If you want to walk with me, then walk with me. There is no chasing here, no begging, no games, no imagination, just two human beings. And perhaps this is the love you have been searching for all these years. But you did not need to search for it outside yourself. First, you needed to find within yourself the man who was not only worthy of her, but worthy of himself. Because in the end, the woman you are searching for outside may not be the greatest mystery in your story. The greatest mystery is the man you have been afraid to become until now, and perhaps this is why you kept being drawn to the same kind of women. Your soul was not punishing you. It was giving you a signal. It was saying, look here, not inside her, inside yourself. But every time you mistook its voice for love. Now the question is not who that woman was. The question is, what did she awaken within you? The question is not why she left you. The question is, what remained within you after she left? The question is not how you can get her back. The question is, how can you get back the part of yourself you left behind with her? Because perhaps you do not actually need to get her back. Perhaps you need to get yourself back. And the day you do that, something strange happens. You no longer need to chase. You no longer need to impress anyone. You no longer need to change yourself for someone's approval. You become calm. You become clear. And for the first time, you realize that love does not mean losing yourself in another person. Love means not losing yourself while being with another person. This is the deepest part of Jung's warning. Women are not your problem. Your unconscious is. Relationships are not your enemies. Your projection is. Love does not make you weak. Losing yourself does. And no woman can steal your soul, unless you yourself give her ownership of your soul. So if you are tired of chaos, of heartbreak, of the same story repeating again and again, of seeing the same ending every time with a new face, then this time, do not look outside. Look within yourself. Look at the part that still asks for approval. Look at the part that fears loneliness. Look at the part that mistakes pain for love. Look at the part that considers being chosen by a woman proof of your worth. Do not blame it. Look at it. Understand it. Integrate it. Because the day you reclaim that part of yourself, no woman will need to complete you. She can enter your life, she can walk with you, she can challenge you, she can love you, and you can love her, but now she will not take the place of your soul. Because that place already belongs to you. And this is the moment when the boy dies. The boy who waited to be chosen. The boy who changed himself for approval. The boy who searched for his worth in a woman's eyes. The boy who lost himself in the name of love. The boy who kept saying every time, Just this once, let her choose me. That boy ends here. And after that, a man emerges. A man who does not make a woman the source of his wholeness. A man who does not run from love, but who also does not lose himself in love. A man who is not afraid of his emotions, but who is not controlled by them either. A man who does not make a woman a goddess, nor does he make her an enemy. He sees her, actually sees her, and perhaps this is the thing you have been searching for all this time. Not that woman, not that relationship, not that attention, not that obsession, but yourself, whom you lost while searching for yourself in her eyes. The dark truth of Carl Jung may be this: she did not come to complete you. She came to show you where you are incomplete. She was not your destination. She was a mirror, and you are still standing in front of that mirror. The only question is, will you see her in it this time? Or, for the first time, yourself?